Hey everyone, Zarkoon here with another World of Warships Legends video, and this time we are back and we are brawling in the Bismarck. Now a couple things have changed on my build for this ship since the first video I made on the Bismarck, which, by the way, is the most viewed video on my channel so far, so thank you guys for that. Apparently you all like the Bismarck, so I decided I'd give you a little bit more of that. But as I said, some things have changed. Well, I guess only one thing has changed, and that is the first mod in the first slot. Originally I was running the secondaries mod just to see what it would do. I got my secondaries up to about 10 kilometers in range with my Von Hipper build, but I decided to change that out for the Aiming Systems Mod 1 in order to get the dispersion on this ship a little tighter, because for a couple of reasons. Reason number one, I don't think the secondaries in this game are as effective as they could be if there was a manual secondaries function that allowed you to focus your secondaries on a particular target. Currently there is not. I think your secondaries will focus on whatever you're locked onto, like we're locked onto that Iowa there. So if he was in range of our secondaries, they would be firing mostly at him. But your secondaries are your secondaries. It's in the name. Most of your damage is going to come from your main guns. So I think personally buffing the dispersion on those is going to be more beneficial. We did Citadel that Iowa over there. He is no longer our concern though, because our sister ship the Tirpitz is attacking us. We know that we can Citadel that ship because at the time of this recording, as far as I know, the armor on that ship is still broken. It sits too high in the water. Unfortunately, we don't get a Citadel on the Tirpitz, but we are still firing. And we've got a King George V creeping up on us, so we have a number of problems. King George V there hits us for a good penetration, and here our secondaries go opening up. They've started a fire on the Tirpitz, and there are 2 torpedoes incoming. I have no idea where they came from. One hits us. Of course it causes flooding, which forces us to use our damage control, and that could potentially be a problem if that King George decides he wants to fire HE at us, and if he is able to light a fire. I think he has a 41% fire chance, and at this range with all those shells, most of them would probably hit us, and it could possibly start up to 3 fires, so that could be a problem. But we do have a couple friendly ships behind us that are supporting us. So we take a shot at this Tirpitz here. We hit him for a nice 10,000 damage. Our secondaries open up again, and that Tirpitz is almost on no health there. He's about to die. So secondaries there, starting another fire. So the secondaries, don't get me wrong, they can be useful, and you'll see with a couple of these shots they even do a little bit of damage. I'm not sure where it's at, but I think in this game I do get a hit on one of these battleships. It might have already happened. I think it was against the King George, where the secondary hit actually took about 1,200 damage, which is a nice little chunk for a little tiny secondary gun. But generally I don't think they do that much damage, but they are useful when you've got a low health Tirpitz over there. You see our secondaries are still hitting him, and I believe they're about to finish him off. There he goes. And he is down. So The secondaries are useful for things like that. They're useful for starting fires, and they are useful for finishing off low health ships that you can't really afford to waste a salvo on. And in fact, that very scenario is going to come up again a little later in the match. But right now we're focused on the King George. Our secondaries are still firing at him, still hitting him. We are up to 113,000 damage right now, and we're going to increase it with this next shot on the King George. We almost kill him. Isn't that how it goes? We almost take him out, leave him with just a little bit of health, but we do get the high caliber medal, and our teammate over there finishes him off. So now this little bit of the map is clear, a little bit of breathing room for us. We are going to reposition ourselves and search for new targets. So yeah, so far this has been a pretty great game. We're up to 119,000 damage with the high caliber medal, and there are still 5 ships left on the enemy team. One of them is that York, and one of them is the Baltimore over there that has opened fire on one of the friendly ships in our base. Now I do want to shoot at the Baltimore because we do still have 2 destroyers left on our team. The Baltimore is a radar cruiser, very dangerous to destroyers. If you see one of those Baltimores, you do need to kill it as soon as possible. But the York is in our range right now, so we are going to take a shot at him. He comes out almost broadside, so we line up, release the salvo. I think we might have aimed a little bit too low there, and we don't get a whole lot to show for that salvo, just 2 overpens. And we've got an Iowa approaching. Now, the Iowa, I think, if he's far enough away, is able to lob shots up, have them come down vertically and penetrate the deck armor of the Bismarck, which can potentially be pretty lethal. I think I have been killed by an Iowa in exactly that manner in this ship before. So we don't want to be too far away from him so that his shells have enough time to go up and come down vertically, but we are slowing down to attempt to throw off his aim and the aim of the York. There's the Baltimore presenting a nice target of opportunity for us, so we're going to take that shot, spend 1 salvo on him, and we do take him out. So that just leaves the York and the Iowa. The York really should be no problem for us. We just want to take him out before he gets too close. He could possibly launch torpedoes at us. So we're going to line up here. Going to take the shot. Teammate hits him for probably a Citadel there, and we hit him for a nice 3,000 damage, and our secondaries are going to open up, and I believe they're going to finish him off, which is nice because that saves us from having to send another salvo his way. Yep, there he goes, close quarters expert medal. And now that just leaves the Iowa. So yeah, another example of how the secondaries can be useful for finishing off low health enemies. If that Iowa were right in front of us and we could hit him, we can't because he's hiding behind the island. That would be great that our secondaries finished off that York, because we would still have that salvo loaded, whereas if we'd shot that salvo at the York, we would have to wait for however long it takes for the main guns to reload. So, I mean, this is not an example of a situation like that because we can't hit the Iowa, but in other situations that would be incredibly valuable, I think. You see we're at 140,000 damage there, almost 141. We've still got 3 ships left on the enemy team. Oh, scratch that. 2 ships left on the enemy team. The enemy destroyer just went down. That just leaves the Iowa, who is hiding behind this island, and the Colorado, who is up close near the enemy base. Now we have 3 kills, so I'm kind of thinking if I can take out this Iowa and get a shot on the Colorado and steal the kill on him, because I believe he is at very low health, then I could possibly get the Kraken. And you see there the Colorado is on low health. 1 shot from us would end him, but unfortunately, even though he is in range, he is behind that island. There is no way we can hit him, and he has been taken out by a member of our team. So we're not going to get the Kraken in this game. That's fine. We can still do a fair bit of damage on this Iowa, who, by the way, has lost sight of us. He does not know where we are, but I think it's safe to assume he suspects that we are going to come out from behind the island in this direction, because he kicks it into full gear here and starts moving forward, and he is going to make a critical error. Now the citadel on this Iowa is the size of most cruisers, probably. It's huge. You don't want to be giving up your broadside like this to any other battleship if you're in the Iowa. And this guy is just begging for it right now. So we are reloaded. We're going to take aim, and we hit him for a citadel, take out his engines in the process, and now he is a sitting duck before us, and our next salvo is going to finish him. So unfortunately for him, he made a critical error there. Fortunately for us, we are going to have the last say in this game. We take the shot. He is dead. We finish the game with 160,000 damage. So if you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. I've got a lot of World of Warships content coming. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.